What's going on again, people? This is your man Clicks. This is a deck profile of my Infernities, and it kicks ass, but it, I really want to make it better, but I have no idea how, and I'm having a really hard time. So, if anyone can help out, I would really love it. So, as you can see, I have one Armageddon Knight, a Dark Grepher, three Infernity Archfiends, obviously necessary, an Avenger, two Avengers, two Infernity Mirages. I feel that two isn't all right because three can sometimes be a dead draw, and you wouldn't want that happening in Infernity deck because dead draws can kill you. I have three Necromancers. I believe it works out like that. Two Patrols definitely helps, and the rest. Some staples: Book of Moon, Dark Hole, Foolish Burial, and this badass magic card, which unfortunately is limited to one, but it's understandable. Monster Reborn, MST, 1 for 1, which I believe is alright. Reinforcements of the army, you know, just to get out one of these two guys, it never fails. It's never a dead draw. Two Calls of the Haunted. I don't know if you guys want to say something about that. Feel free. A Dust Tornado, just cause. Obviously, three of these because these are like the perfect defense. And you can definitely lock down some people with these. Actually, I've done it a few times when I start my loop. Infernity Inferno. I main deck these with three, but when I side, I usually take them. I usually take at least like one out, so it's like, whatever. Ready Key Break. I used to have Infernity Break, but then I was like, it's not really that common when I get a no hand, so I figured I should start off with these. I don't know. Two Solemn Mornings. Definitely Starlight Rolled since this deck, so many traps, big back row. The Transmigration Prophecy, which I believe is awesome because, let's say I already used up Infernity Launcher and I used up one of my Mirages, or let's say I used both Mirages, then I could just be like, oh, okay, well, let me just get them back. I activate Prophecy, and then, oh look, they're back in my deck, and I can start my loop again if I have to, if I'm screwed. And a Torrential just to finish it off. I don't know. It can help. It helps a few times. Surprisingly, this deck does not run Mirror Force, which is a big shocker, but apparently it still kicks ass, so I don't know. For my side deck, I have Leeching the Light. I might take it out. Two Smashing Grounds, two Bottomless. Chain Disappearance, very good against, 6 Sams. Debunk, I haven't had the chance to use it yet. Death Amulet, once again, I have not had the chance to use it. Goals in Match, which is pretty awesome. Like, I guess if I fight windups or something, or monsters that have like a bunch of different attributes, I don't know. Then I have Imperil Iron Wall, which is beautiful against those horrible decks that involve banishing. And Infernity Force. Light Imprisoning Mirror, good against Lightsworn decks. Not like I don't do them often, but when I do, they screw shit up pretty bad. And then I have a Mind Crush, which it can be okay. Usually good against, those type of decks where people like, oh, okay, I use my effect to get this card and put it in my hand, and then you can use this, be like, yeah, I call out that card. Alright, whatever. And then for my extra deck, I have one Catastor, 200 Eyes, even though I don't really use it much anymore. Infernity Doom Dragon, Mistworm, because he saves so hard, two of them. Two Stardust Dragons, because I have two Starlight Roads out. Then I have Stygian Surgent, which is so incredibly godly. If my opponent has like this huge field, this huge monster field out, just take them all at once and then direct attack. Good game, sir. And then Void Dragon. My opinion, what I like to do is, once I start looping and all that, I'll summon Void Dragon and 100 Eyes Dragon at this, like, both together. And I usually have at least, like, one or two Infernity barriers. That way I can lock my opponent pretty well to the point where, like, they can't do anything. Sorry for the shaking, by the way, people. It's kind of hard to control this. But yeah, I like to lock people down with Infernity Dragon and Void Dragon because it's like, he negates anything. Well, he negates the spells and traps. And then my opponent still tries to do something. Sorry about that. I'll just be like, okay, Infernity Barrier, come at me. Yeah, I have two of them because, oh my gosh, they're crazy. And then I have Lavalval Chain, which in my opinion is like, it's alright. Because normally I tend to use his second effect, which is choose one monster from my deck and put it on the top of my deck. That way I can be like, okay, detach, put either him or Mirage in my hand. That way next turn, if I'm safe, I can loop again. So Lavalval Chain is usually one of those, if my loop got messed up, I can recontinue it or restart it. I don't know, whichever works best. And then I have Levier, which unfortunately I don't really tend to use them often. Like it's like one out of like so many duels that I get to actually use them. Because 3-star, and the only 3-star monsters I have in my deck are my Infernity Necromancers. So I don't know, it's hard. So my deck, in my opinion, runs pretty awesome. It can OTK, it wrecks so hard, but the whole purpose is to empty out your hand and all that. So I want to make it better. If there's any way, I want to make it so like I can empty out my hand a lot faster, and swarm better. I mean, it's cool now, but if you guys get any advice, let me know. I'm out.